My daughter, Lily Anderson, was typical 15-year-old girl, navigating the turbulent waters of adolescence. She was constantly rebelling and frequently clashed with my wife, Nora. Nora had this habit of trying to micromanage every aspect of Lily's life. She dictated what Lily should and shouldn't do, disliked her friends, and even criticized her fashion choices. Essentially, Nora was a control freak who never truly listened to Lily. She rarely inquired about Lily's interests or how her day at school went, and she was completely oblivious to Lily's closest friends. Although Nora believed she was guiding Lily toward the best path, their relationship suffered immensely. Lily appreciated her mother's concern, but she knew that Nora's idea of what was best wasn't always aligned with her own needs. In stark contrast, I tried to be a calming presence in Lily's life. I learned early on not to sweat the small stuff and encouraged Lily to embrace her individuality, as long as it wasn't harmful. Whether it was dyeing her hair blue or getting a nose piercing, I supported her, even signing off on permission slips. However, I had two unwavering rules: no lying and always staying faithful. I emphasized the importance of expressing feelings openly and avoiding secrecy. Secrets can corrode your personality, I'd say to Lily. They always come out eventually and cause more damage the longer they're kept hidden. My rule of loyalty extended to being true to one's morals and ethics, staying loyal to friends, guiding them toward better decisions, and offering support. My integrity and sociability earned me many friends and a solid reputation as a copyright lawyer at a high-tech law firm where I was a partner. Despite my demanding career, I always prioritized attending Lily's soccer and softball games and any school events she participated in. I made sure to carve out time for activities like walking, biking, fishing, kayaking, and camping with Lily, recognizing her swift passage into adulthood and the limited time we had together. Nora, my wife, occasionally joined these outings but often skipped them, which led to Lily and me forming an exceptionally close bond. This closeness sometimes stirred a hint of jealousy in Nora. Every Wednesday, Nora had her day off and often mentioned to Lily and me that she would spend it cooking, doing housework, shopping, or possibly visiting her parents. However, Lily frequently noticed my brother Max's pickup truck driving past our house when she returned home. When she questioned Nora about Max's visits, Nora sometimes denied them, despite his truck being parked nearby. Other times, she explained Max's presence as related to landscaping inquiries, borrowing tools from me, or simply checking if I was home to chat. Lily found these explanations odd. Nora typically arrived home before Lily finished school around 5 o'clock or 5:30 p.m. after sports practice, and always before me, as I usually got home between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. one school day. Shortly after lunch at around 12:30 p.m., Lily experienced severe menstrual cramps. Seeking relief, she asked her teacher to see the nurse and convinced her to let her go home early. Despite trying to reach Nora by phone, Lily received no answer and left a brief voicemail explaining her situation and indicating she would walk home unless Nora could pick her up. However, Nora never returned the call. As Lily approached our street, she noticed Max's truck parked in the driveway. Assuming he might need more tools, she found the door locked, which struck her as odd. Using her keys to enter, she discovered the ground floor deserted and dark. After a quick check of the garage revealed no sign of Max, she heard strange noises upstairs. Curiosity piqued. Lily quietly ascended the stairs and made her way to our bedroom. Peeking around the doorframe, she was stunned to see Nora being intimate with Max. They both seemed completely unaware of Lily's presence. Shocked and in tears, Lily didn't know what to do. But when the anger over her mother's betrayal of me and her uncle's betrayal of his brother sunk in, she became furious. She looked around again, this time with her phone and video camera on. Nora and Max, unaware of Lily, continued their betrayal. They shared a laugh, which infuriated Lily. Bursting into the room, Lily yelled, "You're cheating, you worthless woman! How could you betray our family like this? And you, Uncle Max, sleeping with your own brother's wife? I despise both of you, you pathetic excuses for human beings." Both Max and Nora looked around, startled by Lily's sudden presence, then recoiled in horror when they noticed her filming and shouting at them. Lily dashed out of the room and down the stairs. Nora cried out, "Oh God, no, Lily, wait, please come back. This isn't what it seems. Please, Lily, let's talk." She hurried down the hallway after Lily, But Lily had already left through the front door by the time Nora reached the stairs. Nora rushed back and told Max, "Get dressed and start the truck. We need to find her. We have to stop her from telling Jake. It'll ruin him and hell retaliate against both of us. Oh God, what have I done?" She broke down in tears and Max yelled, "Fine, you can cry and feel guilty later, but right now, get dressed. We need to leave." Lily dashed through the yards, her phone buzzing with a call from Nora. Ignoring the call, she let it go to voicemail and sprinted to the nature trails, where she and I often walked and jogged. Nestled among 5 towering cottonwood trees was our favorite spot, dubbed our trees. Sometimes we raced to reach it first. Huddled behind those trees, Lily wept, her head buried in her knees. "How could Mom do this to Dad and me? And Uncle Max betraying his own brother?" Tears streamed down her face as she grappled with these thoughts, brushing off her mother's attempts to reach her. Lily was beside herself, unable to face a conversation at that moment, maybe not ever. In times of turmoil, she always sought comfort from me, her father. Nora had been blowing up Lily's phone with calls, but none were answered. Nora's affair with Max had been going on every Wednesday for about 10 weeks. She felt a mix of guilt and thrill from their secret meetings. Although she knew she should end it to protect our family, she couldn't muster the courage. She convinced herself that this personal indulgence wouldn't harm me or our marriage. She failed to see the emotional barrier it created between her and the family, likely a result of her guilt. Nora rationalized her actions, not realizing the full extent of the damage. The reality hit Nora hard when Lily ran off, calling her a disgrace. The gravity of her actions began to dawn on her, but it was too late. Desperate, she left frantic messages for Lily, pleading with her not to tell me about what she had seen. Nora feared the truth would destroy our family. Despite her repeated calls, Lily chose to reach out to me instead. When my phone rang, I answered, "Hey, little rebel, what's going on? Shouldn't you be in school? Are you all right?" Through her sobs, Lily's distress was clear. "Dad, please hurry. I need you. I'm at the trees. Don't let Mom know or answer her calls until you're here. Please." "Lily, what happened? Are you hurt? Where's your mother?" "Just come, Dad, hurry. No calls to or from Mom, please. Just come. I'm okay, but I really need you now." "Okay, stay put. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I left my office in a rush, giving Grace only a brief explanation. "I have an emergency." "Well, reschedule. I'll explain later." I bolted to my SUV, ignoring Nora's calls, and drove across town. When I arrived, I spotted Lily huddled among the trees, tears streaming down her face. I rushed over, my heart breaking at the sight of her. "Lily, what happened?" I asked, pulling her into my arms. She sobbed uncontrollably, her whole body shaking. I held her, stroking her hair and back until she calmed down a bit. "Lily, did someone hurt you? What's wrong? Did you and your mom have a fight?" Nora's calls kept coming, both on Lily's phone and mine. I decided to ignore them for now. "Don't pick up," I told her. "We need to talk. Dad, you always said to speak the truth, be loyal to family, and not keep secrets that eat you up inside. But what if the truth makes things worse? What if it destroys us? What do we do next, Dad?" "Lily, it's always best to face the truth. We'll deal with it together." "Okay, Dad. Oh, Dad, I'm so sorry. Did Mom call you? If she did she leave a voicemail? Let's listen." I accessed Nora's voicemail. "Jake, we need to talk. Lily and I had an argument and she ran off. She's upset, and I don't think she fully understands what she saw. Can you find her? Please know that I love only you and Lily, and always will." It was a strange message, but I set it aside, focusing on Lily. She let out a bitter laugh. "Now listen to this," she said, playing Nora's first voicemail. Nora's voice was shaky. "Lily, it's not what you think. It means nothing. Please call me before doing something rash." Lily scoffed. "Just an innocent action, huh?" She urged me to listen to the next message. Nora's tone was desperate. "Lily, please don't tell your father. It will destroy him and our family." Lily erupted. "Screw you, Mom. Blaming me for tearing apart the family? What nerve?" I was bewildered. "Lily, you need to explain everything." "Dad, are you sure? This will ruin everything." "Lily, we need to understand what's going on. Tell me." I wasn't feeling well at school, so I came home early and tried calling Mom. Her phone was off. When I got home, I saw Uncle Mac's truck in the driveway. The front door was locked, so I let myself in and found no one downstairs. I heard noises from your bedroom, so I quietly went upstairs. Lily said, her voice trembling. She handed me her phone, her head bowed, tears streaming down her cheeks. Dad, I'm so sorry for you, for me, for our family. I think it's best if you watch this. Taking the phone from her, I played the video. My heart sank as I watched Lily's painful experience unfold in vivid detail. The video ended with her cry of anguish and her confrontation with Nora and Max, snapping them out of their moment. Their faces showed a rapid shift from pleasure to shock, fear, shame, guilt, and anger in less than 5 seconds. I turned off the phone, unable to process the betrayal. Tears streamed down my face as I bowed my head. Why, God, how could she do this to us? And with my brother? How could they betray and shame me like this? I couldn't find more words. Lily moved closer, embracing me tightly. I feel the same betrayal and shock. I never want to see them again. I despise them for what they've done to us, to you, for tearing our family apart. Meanwhile, Nora was desperately trying to reach me at the office. The receptionist told her I had left abruptly to meet with a client and wouldn't be back that day. She offered to take a message and suggested Nora call me directly, but Nora muttered a refusal and hung up. Max and Nora abandoned their search for Lily and returned home to find the house dark, my car absent, and little chance of Lily returning. Nora, I hope Lily doesn't do anything reckless. I hope she doesn't confide in Jake. You know he'll never forgive us for this. I suppose I should head home before Chloe wonders where I am. We'll just have to wait and see how this unfolds. Damn it, how could we be so foolish? Nora, amid her sobs, struggled to speak. I need to figure out what to tell Lily. I must reach her before Jake does. I have to persuade her it means nothing. If she tells Jake, our lives are over. She dialed Lily's number again, but it went to voicemail. Lily, I'm deeply sorry. Please understand it meant nothing and it's over. Please call me before you talk to anyone. Please don't tell your father. It will ruin us all. Nora exited the car and headed back to the house, trying to call Lily again, knowing there would be no answer. Rushing to the master bedroom, she stripped off the sheets and replaced them with fresh ones, a routine she had followed every Wednesday after Max left for the past 10 weeks. Sitting on the bed, she broke down in tears. Why did I do this? Why would I jeopardize my marriage and family's respect for this? She didn't even particularly like Max and certainly didn't love him. Her love for me had never wavered, yet she had emotionally distanced herself from both me and Lily. Why was she constantly nitpicking at Lily? When did she stop communicating openly and affectionately with me? When was the last time she made love to me and expressed any genuine affection or connection? She pondered deeply on these questions. A lot of the thrill came from doing something secretly behind my family's back, just for me, even though it was wrong. That's what made it so thrilling. My life felt mundane. It seemed like no one else relied on me. Lily distanced herself, and Jake had no room for worries, focused on his fast-paced legal career. He prioritized Lily, especially after I pushed him away. Max praised her allure and valued her more than his pregnant wife, Chloe. Chloe's pregnancy meant less attention for Max at home. His flattery and constant compliments led them to get close, escalating to an affair. Now, Nora recalled the pain and betrayal evident on Lily's face. Lily had labeled her a disgrace, a sentiment Nora couldn't dispute. She reflected on the relationships she had damaged, Max with Chloe and her own with Lily and me. Why did it take me so long to see how awful this is? I've wrecked my life without considering the repercussions or my motives. Overwhelmed, she collapsed on the bed, sobbing uncontrollably until exhaustion claimed her. Meanwhile, Lily and I lingered near the trees, occasionally exchanging words through our tears. What's our next move, Dad? She asked. Lily, I'm at a loss. I'm consumed with anger and hurt, not just from being betrayed by the woman I loved and shared my life with, but also by my own brother, my lifelong ally. Now we're caught in this turmoil, aware that our family will never be the same. I'm not sure I can even face Nora, let alone forgive her. But she's your mother, and you'll always need a relationship with her, even if it's hard to grasp right now. Let's find a hotel room to gather ourselves, get some rest, and tackle our feelings tomorrow. We headed to the Hilton Hotel and secured a room. I planned to work remotely from there the next day and inform the school that Lily was unwell, giving us time to figure out our next steps over the weekend. I reached out to my friend Lucas Hayes, the city's district attorney, briefing him on the situation. I informed Lucas that Nora might file a missing persons report soon and requested that he delay any action, knowing Lily was safe with me. Reluctantly, Lucas agreed, setting a deadline for Monday and urging me to speak with Nora before then. At the Hilton, Lily and I settled in, ordering burgers and fries. We vegged out in front of the TV until sleep eventually overtook us, if only briefly. Around 10 p.m., Nora awoke to find no callback from Lily or me. "Oh God, no," she panicked. "Jake's got to know. Otherwise he'd have reached out or come home by now. What have I done?" Nora tried calling both Lily and me again, but our phones went straight to voicemail. In a state of panic, she messaged me. "Jake, I know you're aware now, but it meant nothing. I love only you. Please confirm Lily's safety and come home so we can talk. I need to explain." Unsure of how I would react or what I wanted to hear, she began rehearsing her side of the story, bracing herself for the confrontation. She waited until midnight, hoping for a call or text. With no reply, she finally retreated under the covers, trying to find sleep. The night was restless, filled with regret and guilt over her actions and the pain she had caused. The next morning, Lily and I got up early and headed to the hotel restaurant for breakfast. Turning to Lily, I said, "I'm so sorry you had to witness all this and get dragged into such a horrible situation. It's unfair for you to deal with these adult issues at your age. But now you'll understand why values like loyalty, honesty, and staying true to your ethics are so crucial. Mom forgot these values when she got involved with Uncle Max, and the trust she broke can't be easily repaired. We need to figure out our next steps together. I'm calling Max to get some answers." I dialed Max's number. When he answered, I said, "Step outside so Chloe doesn't hear this." Max quickly went outside and asked, "What's going on?" I couldn't hold back my anger. "What do you mean, what's going on? Be straight with me. Tell me honestly when and why you've been with my wife." Max hesitated, then said, "Jake, I'm truly sorry. It started once, and then it just kept happening. It wasn't about you. There's no love or real interest between us. It was purely physical, driven by lust and excitement. I regret it deeply, Jake. It didn't mean anything significant." "Max, how long?" I demanded. 10 weeks, Jake. Every Wednesday at your place," he replied reluctantly. "Why? How could you do this to me, Max?" I yelled. Max explained, "It wasn't about you, it just happened. Chloe being pregnant meant less attention for me at home. I was attracted to Nora and things escalated. I'm so sorry. We both love you and never wanted to hurt you or break up your family." "Forgive you? I can't even look at you. If I see you again, you better run. You're dead to me now. I don't consider you my brother anymore." Despite Max's pleas and apologies, insisting that it was just physical and meant nothing, I cut him off. "It was everything to me, Max. You shattered my marriage and my trust. Do you have any idea how deeply this hurt Lily? Don't say it's insignificant. It shows neither of you cared enough to spare us this pain." I ended the call, convinced it would be my final conversation with him. On Thursday and Friday, Lily and I stayed at the hotel, working remotely and taking breaks to get some fresh air. We ignored Nora's calls and voicemails. Worried and unsure how to reach us, Nora also tried contacting Max, who didn't respond. By Friday afternoon, she went to the police station to file a missing person report. "My daughter is missing, and I need to file a report," she told the officer at the desk. After gathering her details, the officer asked her to wait. Soon, Lucas Hayes, the district attorney, came out to speak with her. "Mrs. Anderson, I'm a friend of your husband, Jake. I need you to know that Lily is safe. She's with Jake, who informed me about the situation. We agreed to wait over the weekend for him to get in touch with you before taking any action. Lily is fine. Hell, reach out soon, but if you haven't heard from him by Monday morning, call me." He handed her his card and guided her to the door. Nora felt his accusing stare as he escorted her out. She figured I had filled him in and realized arguing wouldn't help. She made her way to the car, sank into the seat, and let the tears flow once more. Back at the hotel, I looked at Lily and suggested, "I think we should at least let your mom know you're safe. Would you like to talk to her?" "No, Dad. I don't ever want to speak to her again. I can't forgive what she did, and I can't imagine any apology that would make it right. How can we trust her again?" Lily asked. "Lily, we're both hurt and shocked right now, but eventually, we'll need to decide whether to move forward or try to mend the family. I think we should head to the house, give her the chance to come clean about the affair, and then decide. We need more clothes and toiletries if we're staying in a hotel, and you have school on Monday. So grab your backpack and books. Today's Sunday, right? Let's go hear her side of the story, and then decide whether to stay or leave with our things. It's only fair to give her the opportunity to explain. Lily and I drove to the house and entered through the front door. The house was silent and dim, except for the light in the kitchen. We found Nora sitting there, sipping coffee and staring into her cup. She looked like she had aged years in a matter of days, her face swollen with red marks, tear stains on her makeup, and her hair disheveled and unwashed. She looked up as we walked in, her eyes filled with regret and pain. Nora jumped up from her seat and rushed toward Lily, arms outstretched for a hug. Lily recoiled, sidestepping her mother and moving to the other side of the kitchen, with me following close behind. "Nora, we're here to talk about what happened and why it happened," I began, my voice firm. "You've caused us both immense pain. Our love and trust in you are shattered. I don't know if there's any way to fix what Lily witnessed and recorded, but I want to hear your side of the story." Tears welled up in Nora's eyes, and she wiped them away with a tissue, her voice trembling. "I'm so sorry. Please understand this has nothing to do with either of you. I love you both more than anything. Jake, it was a mistake. It meant nothing. It happened once and it won't happen again. Can we work through this? Please don't end our marriage over a single mistake," she pleaded, turning away. Seeing her try to downplay her actions, my anger surged. "Lily, go pack your things," I said, my voice breaking with emotion. Lily left the room, and I turned back to Nora. "So you're sticking to the same excuses instead of telling the truth? It was just meaningless physical involvement? It didn't mean anything? And you're claiming it was a one-time thing? That's a lie." I spoke to Max. "I know this has been going on for 10 weeks. I saw the video of you with him. You humiliated me. So who's lying here? You or Max? I know it's you. You're only sorry you got caught. You betrayed our family. Don't talk to me about giving up on our marriage. You gave up on it first." With that, I stormed upstairs. Nora collapsed onto the floor, sobbing. She had hoped to convince me that the affair was a one-time mistake, but now she realized the gravity of her actions. A few minutes later, Lily and I came down with our suitcases. I took off my wedding ring, placed it on the counter, and we left without another word. Nora remained on the kitchen floor, crying uncontrollably. At the hotel, I started searching for a new place to live. I contacted rental agencies and found a 2-bedroom apartment near Lily's school in my office. The next morning, I took Lily to school, then began moving our belongings into the new apartment. I also organized our finances, setting up separate accounts and securing funds for Lily's education. I reached out to a divorce lawyer and began planning our next steps. Over the next 10 days, Nora bombarded us with calls and messages, begging for a chance to talk, suggesting marriage counseling, and pleading for us to come home. I instructed my office security to deny her access and told the school to bar her from the grounds. Lily and I needed space to process everything. During this time, Lily received a confusing voicemail from Nora's parents, expressing concern over what they saw as a minor disagreement. They criticized us for leaving without explanation, clearly unaware of the real situation. Lily decided to call my parents to see if they had any news. "Hi, Grandma. How have you been? Have you heard from the family lately?" Lily asked. My parents replied that they were just waiting for Max and Chloe's baby to arrive and invited us all to brunch the following weekend. It was clear they were in the dark about what had happened. Neither Nora nor Max had told their parents the truth. That evening, I got a call from Nora's sister, Emily. She was upset and confused about why I had left. "Jake, this isn't like you. What's going on?" she asked. I explained that there were personal matters between Nora and me that we needed to work through. Not long after, Nora's parents called, echoing Emily's concerns. They couldn't understand why I would leave over what they saw as minor issues. Finally, my parents called, inviting us all over for brunch. Lily noticed my efforts to avoid explaining the situation and remarked, "Neither Nora nor Max told anyone the truth, and somehow it's your fault." She was frustrated, but I assured her things would eventually be sorted out. 2 weeks later, after many conversations and much introspection, we were ready to face whatever came next. I knew I couldn't forgive Nora. The trust was gone, shattered by her betrayal and deceit. She showed no remorse, and Max was no better. I decided it was over and instructed my lawyers to proceed with the divorce. Meanwhile, Nora was at home, desperately trying to figure out how to fix things. She kept telling herself that it was just a mistake, that we'd miss her and come back. She envisioned herself as the loving wife and mother, certain that everything would go back to normal once we returned. As she sat lost in thought, a car pulled up outside, and soon there was a knock on the door. Looking out, she saw a young man in a suit. When she opened the door, he confirmed her identity and handed her an envelope. "Mrs. Anderson, you have been served," he said, taking a quick photo before walking back to his car. Nora, confused and apprehensive, retreated to the living room. She sat down and opened the envelope, her heart sinking as she read the words "petition for divorce" at the top of the document. Reality hit her hard. She had destroyed her marriage and family for a meaningless fling. Days later, I was overwhelmed with calls. Both Nora's and my parents were furious, accusing me of ending the marriage over what they thought were minor issues. Then Chloe, Max's wife, called me, upset and bewildered. "Jake, how can you cut ties with Max and consider divorcing Nora over something so trivial? You need help. Maybe counseling could save this." I tried to keep my composure, explaining that the situation was private and involved only Nora, Lily, and me. I suggested they speak to Nora if they wanted more details, but the calls didn't stop. They began contacting Lily, pleading with her to come back home to her heartbroken mother. Lily saw my anguish and realized that Max had lied to everyone. She watched as Nora tried to rally the family to her side, refusing to admit her wrongdoing. Lily knew I wouldn't reveal the full truth to protect the family's relationships, but she had reached her limit. She sat down at her computer and composed an email addressed to the entire family. "To all family members who blame my dad for the issues between my mom, Max, and himself. It hurts me deeply to send you this video, but you need to see the truth. My dad is being unfairly blamed for something he didn't do. He was betrayed by his wife and brother and now by his own family. I'm done with it. Watch this video and think about what you would do if you were in my dad's position. Imagine being betrayed by the two people you trusted the most, who then lied about it and refused to take responsibility. Watch the video privately, and then discuss with my mom and Uncle Max how you believe Dad should respond." Lily. She included everyone's email addresses, feeling the weight of what she was about to do, but she needed to stand up for me. With a deep breath, she clicked send. Nora was at work, unaware of the storm brewing. As she left for the day, she turned on her phone, hoping for a response from me. Instead, she saw missed calls from her parents, Chloe and my parents. Dread filled her as she listened to the voicemails. Chloe's message was first. "You've destroyed Jake's life with your affair with Max, and now you've shattered mine too. I don't ever want to speak to you again. I'm fully supporting Jake in the divorce. You threw away a good man and a good life for something so disgraceful. Maybe Max will take you in, but he's getting kicked out tonight." Nora's heart pounded as she listened to my mother's voicemail. "Nora, how could you? Watching that video was heartbreaking. You betrayed Jake with his own brother in your marital bed. Lily saw everything. How could you do this to your family?" Nora sank into her car seat, tears streaming down her face. Reluctantly, she opened her email and saw a message from Lily. She clicked on the video attachment, dreading what she knew she would see. The graphic content replayed, Max's voice echoing in her mind. "Screw me, you filthy boy, and don't you dare stop," she had screamed. Max had responded, "I love making love to you, and I'll satisfy you better than little Jake ever could." Their laughter, their cruel jests, and then Lily's voice, filled with pain and anger. "You're a deceitful strumpet. How could you betray our family like this? And you, Uncle Max, slept with your own brother's wife? I detest you both, you worthless scum." Nora realized it was truly over. Any hope of reconciliation or gaining family support was gone. Her actions had irreparably damaged her relationships. As I sat with Lily, I saw the toll this was taking on her. "What's our next step, Dad?" she asked, her voice trembling. "We move forward, Lily. We rebuild our lives. We find a new normal without the betrayal," I said, trying to sound confident. Together, we packed our things and prepared to leave the hotel. We had a long road ahead, but we would face it together, one step at a time. Nora finally came to terms with the truth. There was no way back. I was deeply hurt, and she had irrevocably severed the bond with Lily. She realized she no longer had the right to even pretend to be a parent. Any advice or guidance she offered would be hollow, a facade. She wept in the parking lot for what seemed like hours before she found the strength to drive home. 3 weeks later, Nora received a call from my attorney. Since she hadn't signed or returned the divorce papers, a court hearing was scheduled in 2 weeks. He advised her to secure legal representation and prepare. On a friend's recommendation, Nora sought out a divorce lawyer. She confessed everything, from her affair with Max to the current situation. After reviewing the paperwork, the lawyer said, "Your husband is being quite fair with a 50-50th split of assets. However, he's seeking sole custody of your daughter, which is rarely granted. I suggest we contest this in court." On the day of the hearing, Nora saw Lily and me for the first time in 8 weeks. We both looked different, more resolute, stronger. When she tried to speak to us, we walked away without a word. "Please, I'm so sorry. Don't hold on to the hatred forever. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but the thought of you despising me indefinitely is unbearable. If you could find it in your hearts to let me have some relationship with you, I'd be grateful," Nora pleaded as we entered the courtroom. In court, the judge initially leaned towards a standard 50-50th custody arrangement. My attorney, however, requested that the judge hear from Lily before making a final decision. The judge agreed due to her age. Lily stepped forward, and both attorneys approached the bench. "Your Honor," Lily began, "I don't want to live with my mother. She has destroyed our relationship. If you grant her custody, I will run away. I won't spend a single night at her place. Please watch this brief video to see what I encountered when I came home early from school. The man in the video is my uncle, my father's brother. This has been going on for 3 months and would have continued if they hadn't been caught." She played the video on her phone and handed it to the judge. The judge's expression changed as he watched the video. Returning the phone, he asked everyone to take their seats. "I grant sole custody to the father," he announced. "There will be no child support from the mother. Given the father's income, I won't require her to pay child support either. Regarding visitation, the mother will have a 2-hour weekly visit with her daughter for the first 6 months, including counseling sessions paid for by the father. His attendance is optional. The aim is to explore whether a relationship can be reestablished for their future benefit." With these words, the judge adjourned the court. Nora sobbed as she heard the judge's ruling. Although the judge had granted me full custody, she clung to a glimmer of hope that counseling could help rebuild some semblance of a relationship with Lily, and perhaps even with me. This became her sole expectation in life. A year later, the counseling sessions between Nora and Lily proved somewhat effective. Nora gained insight into her actions, understanding why she had made those choices. Lily began to see the pain Nora had endured, though it didn't mean she forgave her. Lily occasionally started spending weekends at Nora's apartment. Nora adjusted her approach, treating Lily with more respect and allowing her autonomy. One day, Lily urged her mother, "Mom, let it go. Leave the past behind and don't bring it up again." Nora, still hopeful, tried to learn more about me from Lily, whether I was happy, if I was seeing someone. Lily sensed Nora's lingering feelings for me, but knew I couldn't trust Nora again. Instead of fueling Nora's obsession, Lily encouraged her to explore new avenues in life, including dating. I declined the counseling sessions. I reconnected with my parents and developed a close bond with Chloe and her children. Nora left Max and began reconstructing her life. True to my word, I cut off all contact with Max. If he attended family gatherings, I stayed away. A year had passed since I last saw Max, and I was at peace with my decision. Over the past year, I focused on my relationship with Lily, placing work as a secondary concern. I avoided dating and social gatherings. Lily encouraged me to consider dating again, sensing I might be ready. Reflecting on her actions, Nora deeply regretted her past behavior. The fleeting excitement of her affair had cost her everything she valued. The guilt and anguish haunted her, and she knew she could never reclaim what was lost. She realized she had been foolish, sacrificing a fulfilling life for a temporary thrill. Confronted with the harsh reality of her choices, she understood she had lost the love, trust, and happiness of her family forever.